Welcome back to another exciting build video, guys. My name is Nick with Dubia.com, and today we have our 240-gallon, 4 foot by 2 foot by 4 foot tall reptile habitat. This is our V3, and I'm excited to share it with you today. Let's get to building. First things first, let's unbox everything. We want to carefully take out each piece and lay it onto a clean, flat surface. This helps keep everything nice, neat, and organized for the entire build. Plus, it's also a great way to double check all of our pieces are here before we start building. Now, you will need something to cut with. A razor blade works great. You want to start by cutting the 2 yellow straps, moving on to the tape in the front, and then the rear of the box. Moving on to cutting the safety bumpers installed on the corners for secured shipping. To do so is very easy. You want to cut in between the upper and lower bumper where they overlap around all 4 corners. Once you do that, you can then just peel the box open, nice and easy. And once everything's cut open, you can peel the box open just like this. Ta-da! Great. Now we have everything out on the table. Let's take a moment and familiarize ourselves with everything we will be building with today. We have our screen top, our 2 pieces of glass for the sliding glass doors up front, our handles that will be installed on the glass, our 2 rear panels, our 2 side panels with the pre-cut holes for the 2 cable ports, our Allen key and bolts that will put everything together today. Remember, in our V3, no more hammer. We have our substrate panel. We have our logo bar that will get connected to our 2 jointed bars for the front of the habitat, our 2 rear vertical bars, and then a back supporting bar along with our base plate. Great, let's jump into the next step. Great, moving right on into the next step. It's time to remove the protective coverings. We're gonna go ahead and remove it from the back panels, the 2 side panels along with the 2 sliding glass doors, our substrate panel, and our base panel. Now, this is an important step. You don't want any of the film interfering or getting in the way of the assembly. Plus, it makes everything look clean and polished right from the start. Now, this can take a couple minutes. Let me save you some time. Great, moving along into the next step, it's actually time to start building. So on the table, I have a few things here in front of us. I have our logo bar, I have both of our jointed bars. Now on the jointed bars, you will see that it has a short section towards the bottom and a long section towards the top. The short is to go towards the bottom of the habitat, while the top will support the screen top. Now, we have another thing on our table, which is our Allen key toolkit with our V3's no more hammer. Inside of that bag, you will find 2 long bolts and a handful of smaller bolts that look just like this. Now, for this particular step, we want the 2 long bolts. We're gonna use those. Very easy to put together. While it's on the table, you can actually just slide just like that, slides in, fits nice and well. So now we have both sides put in. We're gonna take our long bolts, insert it from the outside, take the Allen key, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Now you do want to make sure it's snug. Don't want to use a power tool for this. That's why we have the Allen key in here. You can strip the bolts, and that is not good. Pick it up off the table so I have a little room. One final twist, nice and snug. Perfect, and just like that, our first assembly is put together. Moving right along into the next step. It's time to install our substrate panel along with our first assembly to the base panel. Very easy to do. We're gonna take our substrate panel here and line it up with the long track in the front of the habitat. It'll sit just like that. We will then take our first assembly that we just built, bring it over the top. Remember, this does stand at 4 feet tall, so make sure you have some room to work. Finding the tracks for the substrate bar, bring it all the way down on both sides, and it'll fit right in the joint. Now, we'll take our Allen key here, along with our shorter Allen bolt. What we can do is just move this corner right off the table, just like that. That'll give us the space we need to then install the bolt from the bottom. There's one. Move to the other side. Pull the corner out just a little bit. Make sure it's nice and tight. And just like that, the front of our habitat is installed. It's now time to install our rear vertical bars. I do have the habitat turned around here, so it's a little bit easier for you to see. So we'll come around front, just like the front bars that we installed. We're gonna move the corner off the table just a little bit. We will then take our bar, set it in the joint, and if you are careful, it will balance in there nice and easy. We'll take our Allen bolt, come up to the bottom. Perfect. Scoot it back. Do the other side. Just be patient, take your time. Rear bar, set it right here. Let it settle. There we go. Take our Allen bolt from the bottom, and just like that, both rear vertical bars are installed. Let's move on to the next step. Great, jumping on into the next step. It's time to install our rear panels along with our side panels. Now, there's a few things we have here. We have both of our side panels with the pre-cut hole, 2 of our rear panels, and then the rear supporting bar that will have a sticker that says this is for the back. Now, we're gonna start with the rear bars. We're gonna go ahead and take our first panel. Now, be patient, take your time with this. No need to rush. You're gonna find the tracks on both sides. Hey, I caught it with my leg, look at that. Bring this straight down. It'll find its home in the track right at the bottom. We're gonna then take our supporting bar in the back and bring that right on top of that first panel. It'll fit right in the middle. Perfect, just like that. Taking our second panel, nice and smooth all the way down, and make sure to find its home. Perfect. Now, onto the side panels. I like to orientate the hole to the upper and rear of the habitat for cable management. That's just a personal preference of mine. So, putting the hole where I want it, we're gonna go ahead and then find the tracks on both of the bars here. Take your time, all the way down, nice and smoothly into its home at the bottom. Perfect. Now for the other side. Nice and easy. All the way down. Finding its home just like that. Perfect. Now our side and rear panels are installed. Let's move on to the next step. Great, on to the next step of installing our cable management ports. Now, I know this doesn't seem like the most exciting step in the world, but this is very important for keeping our setup neat, clean, and organized. Now, there's a few things I want to show you about this. Let's take a closer look. Before we continue this build, I wanted to take a moment and show you these 2 pieces I have right here. These are your cable ports. These 2 ports will be installed on both side panels, allowing you to run cables and access the power for inside of the enclosure. We're gonna take this and we're gonna turn it to the right to open it. You will see all of the holes exposed, and you can pull this out just like that. We're gonna take our power cord, insert it through, seat it into one of the grooves at the bottom, put it in the middle. I like the middle. Just like that. We'll place this on top with it seated and turn to lock it into place, just like that. No problem. Now, be mindful, if you do have this open all the way to the right, it does have the ability to pop off really easy. So sometimes you just need to make sure that you do close it after using it, because you don't want for any of your pets to escape. Make sure it's secure. All right, we're gonna take a quick look at the hardware that actually gets installed for the sliding glass doors on the front. What we have is our 2 screws, we have 2 plastic washers, 1 gasket, and then the handle. The way this works is we will put in the screw into the washer. There will be the glass in between right here. Then you will have your gasket attached to your handle. And then you will screw all that together as one assembly. As you do so, you want to make sure not to use a drill. You want to use a hand tool for this. You can over tighten the screws and shatter your glass, and that's not good. We don't want that. So use a hand tool and make sure that you do not over tighten or over torque the screws. Easy installation. Taking our cable management port, the thicker side, we're going to come to the outside of the habitat, insert it to the side panel, taking the O-ring to the inside of the habitat, tightening it down. You do want to make sure to give it a nice little extra twist to make sure it is snug and secure. Same thing for the other side. We'll take our cable management port, the thicker side, to the outside of the habitat, There we go, taking our O-ring from the inside of the habitat. Find your threads, nice and easy. Take your time and make sure that it's nice, snug, and secure. And just like that, our cable management ports are installed. Let's move on to the screen top. Moving on to the next step, it is time to install our screen top. Now, we want to take a quick look at the screen top. It will have a sticker indicating that this is for the back. So we want to make sure that that is on the back side of the habitat. That makes sure that the two front tracks are lined up for the sliding glass doors. So we're just going to align this on top here, and then you just kind of need to maneuver it around until it fits nice and snug on the side panel, rear panel, and other side panel in each 4 corners. So we got that front one in there. Let's take a look at this other front one really quick. So that's in there. Now the rear. There's 1, there's 2. So those are nice and secure. 3 and 4. Now, using our Allen tool, along with 4 of our Allen bolts that we have in the baggie, we're gonna go around the top and just drop them down each corner. Just like that. 3 and 4. And then just pick a corner and tighten down all 4 bolts. Now remember to use the hand tool that we include in the packaging. You do not want to use a power tool. You can over torque the bolts and strip them. That's not good. We don't want to do that. There's 1, 2, 3. Last but not least, and just like that, our screen top is installed. Let's go ahead and move on to our glass doors. Great, it's time to move on to the next step. It's time to install our metal handles to the sliding glass doors for the front of the habitat. There are a few things that we have up here for this installation. We have the handle itself, a rubber gasket, 2 plastic washers, 2 of our bolts, and then our Allen key tool that also has the Phillips head on the other end. All right, so we're gonna take our 2 plastic washers, drop them down through the hole, just like this. Great, we're gonna do the same thing with the bolts. Drop those right down the washers. Boom. Perfect. Now we're gonna take our handle and the rubber gasket, line up the holes just like that. Then you can come from underneath and you can start these by hand. Nice and easy. Just like that. Now let's take our tool and finish the job. Now you want to make sure that you're using the hand tool included in the packaging. You do not want to use a power tool. If you use a power tool, you could over torque the bolts and then crack the glass. That is not good. We do not want that. Nice and easy, hand tight here. Perfect. Go ahead and install on the second piece of glass and we'll move on. Great, moving on to installing our 2 sliding glass doors to the front. I have both of my doors here. We have the 2 tracks up front. We are going to start on the right-hand side of the habitat, installing the first piece of glass on the rear track. So, very easy to do. Grab your glass, come in here, find the rear track, start with 1 corner, there we go, tilt back, find its home, make sure that it slides securely all the way back and forth. Perfect. Now our second door here, this will go in the front track. There we go, find the corner, up in the track just like that. Find its home on the bottom. And make sure it slides securely all the way back and forth. Great, the last thing I want to share with you during this build is our pin lock. This pin lock is going to fit in between the 2 pieces of glass. It's going to rotate towards you and then fall straight down. Just like that, you have secured both doors on the front of the habitat. And just like that, our brand new 4 foot by 2 foot by 4 foot tall V3 habitat is done without the single swing of a rubber mallet. Now, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding this build or any of our others, go ahead and reach out to our customer service team over at dubia.com. My name's Nick. Until our next build.